Hey everybody, it's been a bit, I know. I'm trying to figure out my work-life balance here these days. I work from home, so I try to, between shifts and whatnot, I try to still put out these videos. So I'm working on it, just be patient with me. I do want to say that I am starting a cooking channel. It's going to be separate, and that's only because maybe not everybody's interested in combining the two. Maybe they just want to go straight to cooking. That's going to be scratch cooking. It's going to be frugal cooking. I'm going to do a lot more of the Depression era recipes. I had a lot of success with that. I think that I recorded that 2 weeks ago on this channel, and a lot of people were interested in that. So I'm going to do a whole series on just Depression era cooking. So super excited about that. And maybe some. Not everybody knows how to cook, and there's no shame in that. We all had to learn somehow at some point, right? So for those of you that, or maybe know someone that is a beginner and they need some tips or tricks or hacks or whatever you want to call it, I'm going to do a lot of those kind of videos too. I'm super excited about that. This is still my thing. Not going to go away with the canning. Just right now it's a little slow with canning. Summertime is here, so a lot of that's going to ramp up soon. So what do y'all think about my new decor? Isn't it pretty? Got my little Faith and Friends, and I got my little flag over here. Like my little decorations. Anyway, so that being said, we're going to do a canning video today. So the name of the cooking channel is going to be Bernice's Kitchen, and I will be posting a link in that as soon as I get everything ready for that, and it won't be too long before that starts. So anyway, what we're doing today is watermelon. So we had a lot of watermelon left over from Memorial Day. I shopped with my stomach instead of my eyes apparently. It's just 3 of us and I got a huge watermelon. So that being said, we're gonna make some watermelon jelly. Who doesn't like watermelon jelly? I don't know. I'm sure there are people out there that do. But anyway, so this is just going to be the same basic thing. We're going to scoop the meat out and push it through a sieve to get the juice out. And then we're going to boil it for a couple minutes. We're going to add the sugar, add the pectin, and jar it up. It's going to be easy peasy, just like the other jellies are. So, in fact, this will probably be one of my easiest jellies to make. I've only done it one other time, and it was pretty easy. So, we're going to get to it here in just a minute. I'm going to get all my stuff ready to go, and then we're going to just do a quick review on what you need for canning and get to it. Alright guys, I'm back. I was just getting all the supplies here. So we of course still got our watermelon. So just to save time and dishes, I just went ahead and got this. So we need 6, let me double check. Yeah, we need 6 cups of watermelon juice. And then I have a sieve. Everybody knows what one of these are. And we got our jar grabbers for laser. The jar lid snatchers for the lids over here simmering. Okay, so we have that. And then of course we have the lids in here already. They've already simmered. They're just waiting on their turn. Then we got our debubbler. We have 6 cups of sugar. I'm sorry, 5 cups of sugar. We prefer to use pure cane sugar, but use what you want. The white sugar ratio to the pure cane sugar is the same. Okay, we got our 8 quart pot for making the jelly, and then we got half a cup of lemon juice. I use this, feel free to squeeze lemons, but most recipes just call for this because it's more convenient, especially if you got a lot going on. But if you have an abundance of lemons, then by all means do so. Then we have our funnel to jar the products in. Ladle. I don't know my words today, y'all. Then we got, so there's many ways you can sterilize your jars. If you're processing over 10 minutes, which I always do, It's not necessary to, but an easy way to do it is just put them in upside down in your oven at 250 for 10 minutes and turn it off. They'll be good. What else? We got our rings. So with this recipe, it says 6 to 8 half pints, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have 10 just in case. Sometimes I go over, sometimes I go under. Another thing, so we're going to get into eventually of doing old-fashioned pectin, like before they made Sure Gel. But for now, let's do the, the basics. So what I'm using today is the original Sure Gel, and that's for recipes with sugar. Now, I'm diabetic and we're mostly low carb, low sugar in this house. So for us, I use this. It's for low to no sugar recipes and it works great. So that being said, this is the one we're going to use today. What else? What else we got? Oh yeah, check out my, I got this at China Mart. It's a spoon holder and a lid holder all in one. Set your lid there and your spoon there. Then you're not like, you know how you just kind of like run around trying to find a spot for your lid? Or I do. Anywho. So, just a quick reminder, especially if this is your first time here, we're doing 6 cups of watermelon juice. We're doing 5 cups of sugar, half a cup of lemon juice, and 1 package of pectin. And I am going to read you the instructions on the Sure Gel real quick. I don't know if you'll be able to scan this or not. I'm going to try to hold it still. You might be able to. Anyway, if not, just... Oh my goodness. So it is true. They quit putting the little paper instructions in here. Somebody in my Canon group on Facebook was talking about that and I didn't want to believe them. So you have to, the little scanner code that's on the box is how you read the directions. Dadgummit. Well, I already know what to do anyway, so it's fine. But that being said, it would be nice to have the instructions so I can read to you. So what we're going to do, let's see if it has any... Okay, so it does... Let me see if I can get closer. So if you look, it has the amounts for freezer recipe versus cooked recipe. We're doing the cooked recipe, so that will yield 7 cups of product. So fruit to buy, 2 quarts. Sugar, 7, 8. Oh, that's for the strawberry recipe. That's for jam. We're doing jelly. We're not doing jam. But you see the difference in the freezer recipe versus the cooked recipe? So, anyway, let's get started. Alright, y'all. So what we're doing now is just putting the pulp of the watermelon in the sieve, like so. Just scoop it in there and just mash it down. I think I have like a muddler or something that would probably work better than that. One of those little mojito muddlers. Probably works. I can't remember what I used last time, but a lot of made my husband do it. It's all his muscles. It smells good. And just keep working it down like this until you get your 6 cups. Save the seeds if you want to. You know you can roast watermelon seeds. They're really good for you. I don't buy the seedless watermelons because that's a lab experiment. And I know it's convenient for people, but you want the fruit with the seeds. I know it's a pain in the butt, but that means you're getting a good product. How are we supposed to grow things if it doesn't have seeds? So what does that tell you? That tells you that it's made in a lab somewhere, right? So don't buy that crap. Buy the ones with the seeds in it. Even one's better. Buy one from farmer's market or someone on the side of the road. It's that time of year. You see those folks on the side of the road, all the watermelons in the back of their pickup. Buy one from them. Support their farm. Don't buy from the stores unless you absolutely have to. Support your local growers, farmers, etc. Homesteaders, like I aspire to be. One step at a time. I'm an urban homesteader right now. I grow everything on the porch for now. Then when we get my farm, Richard Bruner, you got your work cut out for you. But that's for another video. Alright, I'm going to keep doing this until we get our 6 cups. We're already at 2 now, so it's not going to take long. And I'll be back. Alright, 20 minutes later and hand cramps later. Who knows how many. Okay, so we got our 6 cups of juice. Pulp, it's not pulp, it's not a puree, it's just straight up juice. See? Now it's going in the pot. Oh, looks like I dropped something on the burner. Of course I did. Because how Paula of me to do that, right? Anyway. Alright. You can use a separate spoon to stir that. I'm going to use a spoon. Later I'm going to use, because let me tell you something. I don't like washing dishes. So we're just going to let this do its thing. So we got to get this, bring this up to a boil. And we're going to let it boil for about 4 minutes. And once it starts boiling, then we're going to put the pectin. Y'all, I broke the package when I opened that box, so I just put it in this bowl right here. So we're going to let it boil about 4 minutes. Then we're going to put the pectin in, stir it constantly, take it off the heat after we boil it another 2 minutes. So it's going to go 4 minutes, boil 4 minutes, pour the pectin in, stir it, let it come back to a rolling boil for another 2 minutes. Then we're going to take it off the heat, stir the sugar and the lemon juice in, and then we're going to let it boil for a rolling boil for 1 minute and then just take it off the heat. Now, if you're not sure what a rolling boil is, if you can stir it and it keeps bubbling, that's a rolling boil. If you stir it and it disturbs the bubble, that's not a rolling boil. Oh, I got a seed in here somehow. All that straining and I still got one seed in here. Daggone it. It's not the end of the world. You can can it in there with it, but these are for sale, so I want it to be clear. Actually, no, these aren't for sale, but still, I like it like that. If it was for sale, I would have my gloves on. So this is just for our family. So anyway, so it's starting to heat up. It hasn't quite started boiling yet. When it starts boiling, I'm gonna bring it back I'll bring it back over where you can see. Alright, so this has been boiling for about 4 minutes. So now let's add, I don't remember if I said it earlier, but the lemon juice and the, let's put the sugar in this, and the pectin. Okay, so there's that. Ooh, it smells good. to me, I know there are certain reasons why you put lemon juice in a lot of these um, jellies, and there's reasons behind it, the scientific reasons, of course, of helping with the preservation, but also it brightens up the recipe. So I've had strawberry jam without lemon, and I'm not a fan. I've used lime before, like if I didn't have lemon, and that worked okay. I just prefer the lemon. So it looks like all the pectin has dissolved. So let's let it do its thing for a minute. It's already starting to boil again. See how it's still it's still boiling even though I'm stirring? That means that's a rolling boil. That means I'm not disturbing it. So we are about to put the sugar in there. Oh, that's a lot of sugar. But it's a lot of jelly too, so. You get comments all the time, that is too much sugar, you're gonna, yeah, I know, but it's also for several jars. It's not for one serving, so calm down, Karen. It's gonna be okay. No offense to anybody named Karen on here, but we all know what a Karen is. It's not necessarily their name. Feel bad for the actual Karens out there that are just out there minding their own business. Their name is Karen. Anyway, so the sugar looks almost dissolved. It smells so good. Alright, I gotta go get a mat. I don't know why I have this right. Using this today. Nice and clear. Yep, perfectly dissolved. So this is fine. Doesn't look like I have to scrape off any of the. A lot of times, some jellies, it just depends. It depends on the strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, whatever. Sometimes there's a heavy foam, sometimes there's not. There is a little bit of foam on there, and you can absolutely use that if you want to. But for aesthetic purposes, I don't. It's just for us, and I know we're not going to give it to anybody or sell it. Okay. Do its thing for a minute. Got a better view. Turn that up a little bit. Keep that there in case I need to skim any. Yep, starting to heat up. I think we're about to have boiling action going on here in just a minute. Okay. Isn't it pretty? I get excited about this stuff. I hope this turns out on the video. I got a new phone and the video quality is better than the other one. There we go. There we got our bowl. So let's just check to see if it's undisturbed when I, yep. That is our rolling bowl right there. 1 minute. We're just gonna let it go. Oh, man, turn it down a little bit. All right, I'm gonna scoot y'all back so. Oh, awesome. Oops. I burnt my apron and I dropped the camera. That was almost hair raising, if you will. I set my apron on fire. It's not funny. Oops. Because I thought I had my mitts close by and I didn't, so I had to grab it with my apron. All right, so now we're going to jar this up. I'll be right back. I gotta get the jars out. All right, y'all. So the water is almost coming to a boil. So while that's doing that, we are gonna jar up this goodness. Now, remember to have a paper towel dipped in vinegar to wipe the rims. If you don't, go ahead and grab it. If you're doing this along with me, go and grab it now. Because this is something you've seen before. If not, I'm going to do it several times. So I'm doing this in half pints. Yeah, half pints, which is 8 ounces or a cup. Now with jellies and jams, you go to 1/4 inch headspace. So if you look, oh, that's hot. That's half right there. Ooh, that's hot. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Alright then, let's alright, that's 1. I think I'm gonna get all. I thought I had 10, but I have 9. Apparently I don't know how to count. I'll grab another jar if I need to. Let's see what this does first. I want to scan some more of this stuff off of there. So just a little trivia, if you're curious. Do you know what was used before they invented pectin? Fruit. Most commonly apple. Apple has a very if you don't use a lot of it, especially if you do like the Granny Smith or whatever, apple has a very neutral flavor for the most part, especially if you're doing something outrageous like watermelon jelly. You can use a whole apple in this instead of pectin. And it does the same thing. I think actually instead of 6 cups, it would be 5 cups. There's recipes I'm going to get into with that. It's just, I try not to overwhelm the beginners who want to just kind of follow along, do the basics. We'll get into more of that kind of stuff later on. So anyway, back to it. It smells like pretty much the watermelon rind is what it smells like when it's after it's done. Not a bad smell, just saying. I think people have expectations of it smelling like a watermelon gum or candy. That is not real watermelon flavoring. It's some crazy animal part or something that they use. And yeah, research that on what, yeah, research that for yourself on these processed foods like candies and gums and other stuff. When it has this flavor and this flavor, it says natural flavors. It's some kind of weird animal part. If I can find it, I'll post it in the description. But Google what natural flavors are, or go to my page, go to Preserving Paula Facebook page, and just scroll down from like a month or two ago, and you'll see the whole article on it. It's crazy. I'm not touching a lot of the gums and stuff they have out there now just because of it, because that's gross. Because it's not a clean animal. We eat kosher. We only eat what's clean, biblically clean. So if you don't like that, I'm sorry to hear it, but that sounds like a you problem. We just try to follow the Bible more, what the rules are. But I'm not going to get into that whole religious thing. If you want to eat a pork chop, you go ahead. More power to you. I still love you. And it's your business. But anyway, so the animal part in question is not a biblically clean animal, and it's not a clean part to boot. So we're not going to touch that stuff anymore. Just our choice. No judgment on what you do, but just a little FYI. Okay, so I am going to go out on another little tangent about eating biblically clean. Since we've started eating biblically clean, we don't have near the health issues we used to. Yeah, we're still fluffy, but we're working on that. It takes time. It took time to put the weight on. It takes time to take it off. But since we stopped eating the unclean foods that the Bible says is unclean, I don't have nearly the arthritis issues. I don't have hip and knee issues anymore. I have something I have to have surgery on, but it's from a previous injury, so that doesn't count. But yeah, just even if you don't believe in everything that the Old Testament talks about in Leviticus, Leviticus talks about the foods we are to and not to eat. That's fine. I won't argue with you about it. If you don't think it's legit, then don't do it. I don't argue with anything to do with that stuff with family members, because I want to enjoy the time I have with family. And that's up to them, right? So there's that. But yeah, so be careful of the things you put in your body. This is something that we've started here last year, of trying to just put less crap in our bodies that we don't need. I'm off all my diabetic medications now. Yes, I said that. I have no blood pressure issues. I have no whatever, and it's all from researching the things that we put in our bodies. Big Pharma is a scam. Any doctor that you see out there that says that food should be prescribed to people versus medicine, they're always canceled. Just keep that in mind, along with the other things going on in the country, why people get canceled. So yeah, just think about that for a minute. And I know this has sugar in it, but I'll tell you what, sugar feeds cancer. That's all I'm gonna say. Sugar feeds all the diseases. If you have parasites in your body and you're loading up on sugar, they're not going to go away. You're just feeding them and make them bigger and stronger. If you have cancer in your body, my sister-in-law, Misty Bruner, can attest to that. She cut out sugar out of her life, and Lord be praised, she is in remission and doing great. Shout out to you, Misty Brewer. I love you. So just keep that in mind. We're not perfect yet, and to look at us, you would think we're perfect, but we are doing our best. We want to live a long, long life. At least want to make it to the apocalypse. I'm joking, y'all. But anyway, so it looks like I can take a little bit more. Let's see what the water's doing. It's almost boiling, y'all. We are getting there. So what is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Will this make? I don't know. Alright, I'm being impatient. Probably gonna burn myself. Well, that's hot, that's hot, that's hot, that's hot, that's hot. Okay. That was fun. And it's hot. And I put too much in there. Somebody said the other day they were watching me making this, and you're supposed to be the expert. I never said that. Who told you I was an expert? Your mama? Nope. I'm still learning how to can a lot of stuff. I'm still learning how to dehydrate and meal prep and everything else. I just want to help those along that want to get started. I'm just the go-between. I'm not the expert. Don't even try to call me that. Don't try to put that word in my mouth. No, sir. Okay, so we got 9, which is more than the recipe said. So yay us. Made a mess. Again. I'm like the little, anybody seen Finding Nemo, the little crab? And then he goes, bubbles, bubbles, bubbles. That's me. I'm like walking around my husband sometimes just doing this. Ah! He's like, would you let me put my drink down? Dang. I know, it's a sickness. Alright. Because I'm me, I'm just going to do it like this. I'm going to do all the rims. Crap. See what I mean? Yup. Really nothing to be bubble, but we're going to do it for the sake of showing you. Liquid, I mean. So make sure to debubble first. 1. Ooh, it's already starting to set. Oh dear. Water, you need to hurry up and boil. I waited too long. Yeah, I forgot to start my water bath for the dang jelly, so I put hot water in there hoping it would boil faster. Does that work? We're gonna see. And it's okay, as long as I can at least get these in the jars. If it sits there a few minutes, it's not gonna hurt anything. I do believe I see bubbling happening in the... Oh, yeah, I didn't do that. Remember to get, and you can see that, make sure you get on either side of the rim, not just the top. That helps to seal. That one didn't quite make it to 1/4 of an inch, but it'll be okay. It's still gonna set. Oh, that reminds me. Do y'all remember the blackberry and the blueberry syrup that I did a month or 2 ago? And I was gonna check. Remember the one jar? It didn't go all the way up. It only went to like right here. I have it in my pantry. I'm gonna break it out sometime this week and video it over like some pancakes or something to show that it's perfectly fine. I like to do experiments. I only do them on myself. I'll never do an experiment on you. Once the money's right. Just kidding. Sort of. Ooh, the water's boiling. I am just in time, yo. I'm saying yo. Anybody else watch Breaking Bad? We just got through binge watching it again. I love Jesse. He goes, I do this, yo. Yes. Now I do it all the time. Sorry. Oh yeah. Did I debubble that? I don't remember. Yeah, I did. Honestly, when it's jelly like this, I don't really debubble it. I may go like this. I don't recommend doing that. You can break your jars. But I have the Formica, whatever you call it. When we lived in Fort Worth, we had granite countertops. Never again. I know they look pretty, marble looks pretty and all of that, but it chips the hell out of your glass and your ceramic dishes, so I'll never have that crap again. It looks nice, but no thanks. Okay. So now for the lids. So I'm just gonna turn that off. So it came to a bubble, so oh yeah, the key. Okay. I'll let that sit there for a minute. Let me try this again. Remember, just barely turn it. You don't need to do a whole lot. I think all 8 of these are fitting this pot. I don't think I need to do a second batch or a second layer. Yeah, I don't think I do. Right there. Trying to do things the hard way today, I guess. Okay. I just hate that when it won't get started. Come on. Really? Okay. And the fingers are tight, that just means you barely turn it. You're not trying to wrench on it. And just in case you're new, why you don't screw it on tight is because you want to leave room for any air that's left in here that we didn't get out with the debubbler. It's going to rise to the top and escape, because that's the whole purpose of the canning, is all the air to be out. Air is the enemy when it comes, oxygen is the enemy when it comes to preserving. So you want to make sure it's loose, it's just loose enough where anything can escape. What, Miss Princess? What is it, Princess Fluffy Butt? No, you're not coming in here. You know you're not allowed in the kitchen. Why are you tripping? You are not allowed in the kitchen and you know it. You get all your little kitty cat fur everywhere. No ma'am. You better go on with that mess. I'll be out there in a minute. We'll go stare at the neighbors. Alright? Alright. She agrees. She's very judgmental of our neighbors. She has to know what's going on at all times, what they're doing in their own yard. Of course. Alright, so we got our little jar lifters. So how do we, 4, 8, 9. Yeah, I think 9 will fit in here just fine. I'm going to turn it back on so we can start boiling. And remember, always lift straight up, going in the canner and going out, because if you tilt it in any way, it's going to compromise that seal. Always go straight up. And I know it probably bothers some folks when the water's sitting on the top of the jar. Clean it off later. Don't do it when you're pulling it out. You gotta let that jar seal. You gotta let it cool. And then you clean the water off. Because you got to wipe them down anyway, in case there was any product that escaped into the water. So save yourself some trouble and just wait. I know some people will say, oh, I gotta get that water off. No, you don't. No, you don't. I will die on that hill because I've seen expert canners do that. They tilt it, pulling up. What are you doing? You just ruined that batch. It's like, no, it never happens. Well, you got lucky. You got lucky, and that's all I'm going to say. Now, I do rebellious things with canning, but that is not one of them. Yep, that was a perfect fit. So now, it's on record. This is my 16 quart water bath canner. It's also a stock pot. I double it as a water bath canner. I have the big canner, but this is a small batch, so we didn't need it today. So now, the lid's going to go back on. We're going to wait for it to boil. And I will be back. Ooh, baby, it's showtime. Turn it off, that off. Whee. Okay. We're going to let it sit there just for a minute. You can leave, if we were pressure canning, we'd let it sit there a while, but we're water bath canning, so we're going to take it out as soon as all the bubbles stop. Because we don't need any more burns. I have enough. In my 20s, I used to be a donut fryer. That's why I still don't like donuts. All these little spots right here. Donut burn, donut. Donuts! Donuts, donuts. Oh, I hate donuts. Anyway, doesn't look like I do, but I do. So now, wee, oh pretty. Onto a surface like a towel or a dish drainer's pad or whatever. Never put it straight on the countertop because it could bust the jar. The shock of the cold, especially if you keep your house as frigid as I do. My father-in-law used to bring a sweatshirt over in the summertime just to come over and visit because he knew how cold we kept the house. Well, bring you a sweatshirt, old man, because we're like polar bears up in this bitch. These last two, I don't know why the last 2 rollers are hard to get. No, ma'am. I'll be with you in a minute. I'll be in there in a minute. I know, you're so mistreated. You hear her, how mistreated? She's a totally mistreated kitty cat. So, these are good to go. I'm hoping we're going to sit here like a minute and see if we can hear him ping. What's that you say? Alright, well that's it. I'm going to leave the recipe in the description, and I'm going to try to find a couple more helpful links for beginners, especially if you like. I know I put them in the others, but maybe you haven't caught those videos yet. So I'm going to try to be conscientious and put, oh, did you hear that? Woo. Hang on. Anywho, so if you've ever been around anybody can and you've heard the ping before, so you know what that sounds like. Yeah, I'm going to try to put some helpful links in the description. The crazy thing is, I'm still new to YouTube and my channel wasn't registered where I could like just put links in there, so I'm hoping it can now. So I want to put a bunch of helpful links in there for everybody and everything. So, but anyway, so this is our watermelon jelly, and I know it's gonna be delicious. I'm sure my husband's gonna sneak a couple of these to his job for the fellas to try. They're always my guinea pigs. They will try anything. It doesn't matter if it's a cupcake recipe or jelly or jam. They are always wanting to try whatever I send by way of my hubby. So I'm sure at least half of these are going to go to them, because we do not eat this much sugary stuff personally. So, but anyway, guys, listen, I love you, and I can't wait to get some more videos out. Canning season's a little slow, but it's about to pop off with all the gardens out there. I'm going to be showing a lot of recipes for people who have gardens. They don't know what to do with it. I'm going to be showing y'all a lot of things to can that's from your garden. I will take requests if you want to drop it in the comments on here or the Facebook, either one. I would love to make that for you and show you how to make it. That being said, Preserving Paula is going to keep going, and Bernice's Kitchen is going to start up soon. So be looking for that. Again, Bernice's Kitchen. And I know everybody's going to ask, is that your middle name? Nope, it's my alter ego, and a lot of people know Bernice. But anyway, I've decided to put her to good use, and she has a catchy name. So Bernice's Kitchen it is. Should be starting very soon. I love y'all. Bye.